didn't ask to get made. I didn't ask to be torn apart and put back together over and over and turned into some little monster.
Rocket, no one's calling you a monster.
He called me vermin. She called me rodent. Let's see if you can laugh after 5 or 6 good shots to your frickin' face.
And here we go.
It's the comic book bullies.
Man, you come right out of a comic book.
It's the comic book bullies.
You will bow down before me!
It's the comic book bullies.
Now I am the master.
It's the comic book bullies. It's the comic book bullies. Welcome back to the Comic Book Bullies from Nerds New Bullying. Your host Leroy, aka Zardu Hasselfrau, with my co-host.
Okay. I just got that.
Ah,
I just got that.
uh-huh.
'Cause
McFly.
I'm a nerd. Yeah. Okay, this is Eli, aka Pizza Slut.
There we go. And we are back with another episode. And damn it, I forgot to set the link out, but that is okay. We're gonna keep riding with what we got.
I shall do the link.
Let's see if I can walk and chew gum at the same time. All right, so we're back with the episode, and Eli, I have failed again. I promise. I disappointed you again.
Is it cheeseburger time?
It might be cheeseburger time. I'm gonna let you make a decision. I'm gonna let you be the court of public opinion on cheeseburger time, because, like I said, last episode, I promised that I was gonna do a 2.5 hour Street Fighter tutorial while you commentate on it, and everybody else get a chance to see what we were doing. But I got busy to get a chance to even watch it. I mean, even play it. So yeah. Eli's pineapple pizza slut in specific is a pineapple pizza slut. I guess. Oh, who we got? We're coming in high. I was about to make the stream. Oh, DeAndre. Shout out to DeAndre. He hit me up last week. Wanted to know when we're going to come and stream. I told him we're going to come and stream at midnight. We are late per usual, but
we're always late. So
we're always late. So that's just how we do it.
Midnight-ish. It's a suggestion.
Right. Not a rule, mild suggestion. There we go. Yes, that's it. So sorry, I didn't get a chance to do my 2.5 hour stream that I was going to do live. Matter of fact, I could do it right now. Let's do it, Eli. No, I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
I'm not going to do it. We actually got more shows.
Can I play too? Let me download it real quick.
I don't even know if it's to play. I haven't looked at any tutorials, YouTube, stuff like that. Guess what? Everybody come back next week. Eli and I are going to just do 2 hours of just Street Fighter on this podcast. Nothing else. No comics. No nothing. We don't care if we get nuked next week. We should go play Street Fighter. But for right now, we got shit that we got to talk about. So first off, let's start off with you know what? Eli, have you been paying attention to the Met Gala?
No.
Okay. I'm pretty sure you didn't. So I figured you was a fashion forward type guy, so I figured you'd be into that. But yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, yeah.
Sorry. Anyway, sorry. I would just show you some quick things.
I was gonna try and say something witty, but I figured I probably should.
You don't want to get canceled? Okay. So, like I said, quick Met Gala stuff we had going on. We had Jared Leto dressed up as a cat.
The fuck is that?
That's Jared Leto dressed up as a cat for Met Gala. So yeah, that's the weird shit. Yeah, that's the weird shit that went on right there. So yeah.
Is this also, is that what it's like a Halloween party?
Pretty much. It's a Halloween party for rich people. Yeah.
No shit. So like an eyes wide shut sex party and shit. There's a big
pretty much like and Doja Cat actually went as a cat. Like remember Beauty and the Beast, like the alien was not the CW shit with Ron, what's the guy's name? The Hellboy guy.
Oh, Ron Perlman.
Ron Perlman, when he was like had the lion makeup as Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
That's how Doja Cat went as Met Gala. I didn't get a thing, but it was LOK had a comment. You don't feel like the best drink in the world is Dr. Pepper. Yeah, because Dr. Pepper fucking sucks. Sorry, we would never get endorsed by them. I'm sorry. Eli loves them. So should I do? Oh man. Okay. I'm gonna show you the Doja Cat because we got a request for Doja Cat. Then we're gonna move on because we got other shit we need to talk about. Let's see. So, like I said, Jared Leto showed up in a cat's costume, but Doja Cat actually dressed up as a cat. Here we go. Yeah.
Oh shit. No,
like
damn.
Like what? Okay. That was the thing. Yeah.
Like the Star Wars cantina and shit.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody dressed like the X-Men. That's all it is. It's like it's going in shit, you know. Then also shout out to Janelle Monáe. She also showed up at the Met Gala. Look, I don't give a fuck about nothing else
damn.
about the Met Gala. I do care about Janelle Monáe showing up to the Met Gala. Whatever weird ass shit she's dressing up as, I'm sorry. We have to salute the flag every time Janelle Monáe does anything whenever she breathes. You just have to. Her
I'll buy that for $1.
or they will always get a salute from the comic book bullies. They have our stamp of approval. So yeah, what else we got here? Doja Cat is hella fine. She is until she do weird shit like that. So that's just me. You know? But hey,
Or Jake just now discovering that. Damn, she.
Jake, are you a furry? Is that it? We're not slut shaming anybody in here.
Yeah.
Eli is a pizza slut, a pineapple pizza slut, so we're not slut shaming anybody. So if that's your thing, hey,
Whatever your kink, yo.
right. And we got Pete Davidson. I didn't even see what Pete Davidson is. All I want to know is that I wish we had the Met Gala back in the day so we could have this, you know, Sean Connery just dressed up as Zardoz. So, but here's the reason I really want to talk about the Met Gala, because we see a lot of these pictures floating around, stuff like that, but we also see Selena Gomez show up. Now, the reason I'm posting Selena Gomez right now, because here's the thing. This is not a real pic. This is AI. Selena Gomez didn't even go to Met Gala. So this whole AI thing that's out there right now, that's how crazy this shit is going right now. So yeah, so this completely made up Photoshop, AI, whatever you want to call it, that's what it is. So yeah, that's how scary things are getting right now, Eli. So that is all I wanted to do, and I am fucking up already. But we're gonna keep going. All right, so anyway, let's move to the next part of the podcast, or let's move on to the first part of the podcast. We'll get to it because I didn't really want to talk about the Met Gala shit. Eli, we're gonna talk about the movies. We're gonna bring back an old classic because we got to bring it back every now and then, just kind of keep people abreast of what is going on in pop culture. So give it to me. What is the number one movie of the week?
I heard it was some space movie.
I'll give you a hint. It's a Chris Pratt movie. No matter what happens, it's a Chris Pratt
That's
movie. So,
why.
exactly. So here is the list. Boom. Okay, so you got Guardians of the Galaxy number 3. It hit 114 million. It's pretty big. Here's the thing. This is actually down from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. So not making as much money as that. But number 2 on the list, Super Mario Brothers. So Chris Pratt has two of the top 2 movies in there. So he's 2 for 2 right now. So everybody keep making a big deal about Jonathan Majors, how he did it for Creed and Ant-Man 3 like a few months ago. Chris Pratt just did it too. So I guess that's not a big deal anymore. Look at number 3. Yeah.
Evil Dead.
Mm-hmm. And you know, so I'm pretty sure they're gonna make that money back. I'm trying to remember. You did like the movie, even though you shitted on the movie, but you did like the movie.
I did. I liked it. Yeah.
Okay.
It's cool. That's fine.
You liked it enough.
I said it was okay, which in internet speak means it sucks. But no, I enjoyed it.
We're buying there. We're buying there. It's one or the other. You're either with us or against us. Shout out DeAndre. Yeah, glad you watched Guardians of the Galaxy 3. We are going to talk about that. I have some notes. I'm going to put my notes up. I didn't.
He brought notes.
I brought notes. Well, I wrote them down, and I wanted, because normally we like to freestyle on this podcast. I like to just make up shit off the top of the fly, go with the flow and things like this. But this time I wanted to come prepared. What do we got here? Evil Dead Rise drops on VOD. Damn, Tuesday. Shit.
Have you seen it, Jake?
I think he did. I think he reviewed it with you. Really? I just sat there smoking a cigarette. I think both of you were just going back and forth like Siskel and Ebert. So yeah.
You were eating a cheeseburger during that.
I did eat a cheeseburger. I did eat a cheeseburger in the middle of your review. Like I literally did that. But I muted it so it wasn't like I was just chomping in the burger. Like, hold up. What do we got? Damn. Okay. Wait, y'all take notes of the past? No, yeah, exactly, Jake. We don't take notes because you can't tell. Like if we do take notes, we really fucking up.
Yeah,
anyway,
unless it's like cosplay, looking at cosplay, yes, then that's the notes. That's the research I do.
Yeah, like that's the only research we do right there. Like anytime you see this, then we tell for research. That's the only research we do right here. So
yeah, checking out that Gamora Nebula research.
Right. I downloaded the wrong Guardians of the Galaxy movie, or did I? Let's see. I haven't seen it yet. Meaning to catch up. Oh, so I thought he reviewed it. Maybe he just talked about the Evil Dead in general, and he just talked about it. So anyway, let's talk about Guardians of the Galaxy.
That's the world we live in. Going to
You don't have
theaters
to
is
see
optional.
anything
Yeah.
to review it.
Yeah.
That is no longer a thing in the past. Eli, I'm gonna let you handle the.
Well, then I might as well review Guardian.
You might as well review it. Have you? Gomer doesn't see anything and reviews everything.
Oh yeah, he's always
Gives a score and everything. Does not care.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it, but it's a 4 out of
knows
5.
everything about the movie business. Doesn't go see any movies.
Doesn't see anything.
Yeah,
Doesn't know who's in it, but he's just gonna review it regardless. Just
but he's quick
and
to-
we'll argue with people that see the movie about their opinion. No, you're wrong.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
He saw it.
He'll come at you with some graphs and shit. And stuff.
Like how you
Here's
gonna argue
proof.
with you
Here's proof of my opinion.
of this movie
Shout
that
out
I
to
didn't
Gomer.
see. Shout out to Gomer. Go watch his podcast. This Geeky Comic came on right before us. Anyway, let's jump into it. Guardians of the Galaxy, Volume 3. Let's go. Now, just as this is technically a comic book podcast-ish, I do want to explain some stuff about the Guardians of the Galaxy, like what stuff was comic canon, what stuff wasn't comic canon. First thing we want to jump into it now. Like the High Evolutionary, people just think he's just some made-up character. No, he is a character from the comics. Thing is, he fights everybody. He fights Fantastic Four, Avengers, X-Men, hell, everybody I can think of. He really don't fight the Guardians of the Galaxy, but who cares? These movies, everybody fights everybody nowadays. Shang-Chi
He's
never
in the
fought.
house. What up, T?
Shout out to Fat T. Like I said, Shang-Chi never fought the Mandarin, but they decided to just throw that in there, so it's just like whatever. Sylvester Stallone does show back up. Spoiler alert, he's back in the movie too. Now, everybody wants to know, like, why is Sylvester Stallone in these movies? Who is he playing? He's actually playing Starhawk. Starhawk is one of the OG Guardians of the Galaxy, like back in the 90s when they first made them. Even though Guardians go all the way back to the 60s, like when they first started making Marvel comics. But the 90s kind of rebooted them, and that's what Starhawk came from. And honestly, I used to like this. Actually, the Guardian comics I started with, but they were so obscure, I collected them and forgot I collected them. But they were still pretty cool. Starhawk, I used to like draw him in school and stuff. I like, he got a cool design. At the time, I thought it was cool, but they revamped and stuff like that. So that's it there. Okay, let me just boil down to it. Let me just tell you what I think about the movie. Just get down to the nitty gritty of it. Okay, so as far as this movie, as far as the trilogy goes, I think it's easily, hands down, the best movie of the trilogy. That's just me.
Really?
Yeah, hands down. I stand on it, stand by it. I would eat cheeseburger if anybody disagree with me. That's what I say about when I came out of this movie. Maybe I'm a prisoner of the moment, but that's how I feel about it. I'll even take it a step further. I'll even take it a step further than that. Not only is it the best movie of the trilogy, I honestly think it's the best movie since Endgame. Well, the best Marvel movie since Endgame. I put it over
Those
Spider-Man.
are big words because
Those are big words. Those are big words. I'm putting it in there.
I actually thought Spider-Man was probably the best. I mean, that I've seen since Endgame.
Right. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I put this over Spider-Man.
Okay.
Big word. I'm talking big shit, cash money shit. I know that. I don't care. I'm saying
Cheeseburger,
it right now.
Dr. Pepper shit.
Cheeseburger, Dr. Pepper, root beer, whatever nasty shit you want me to swallow, I will.
Now you don't like root beer? What the hell, man?
I hate everything. Have you not figured that out about now? Yeah, they handle Adam Warlock. I'm gonna get to that. Adam Warlock sucked. Well, I just got to it. But anyway.
Okay, yeah, let's get. Okay, okay. Well, yeah, we'll get to that.
We'll get to that. Okay.
I got
said,
some shit to say
you can
about
review
that.
it. You can review it.
I
even
got
though
my
you didn't see
review
it.
ready to go.
Exactly. Let's go. We don't have to see anything to review anything nowadays. But yes, that's what I'm going. Okay. So, like I said, I put this movie over Spider-Man No Way Home. And I'm going to tell you why I put over Spider-Man No Way Home. I put it over any other movie in Endgame. Like I said, other than Spider-Man No Way Home, everything else is kind of like low bar anyway. So it's not really saying anything. It's the best movie since whatever, Reason I put it over Spider-Man No Way Home is because Spider-Man No Way Home, in my opinion, relied a little bit too much on gimmicks. That's my thing. Like, it got you because, nostalgia berries, member berries. It's got every Spider-Man ever, actor ever. It's got every Spider-Man villain ever. We had fun. And it was a fun movie. I'm not saying it was a bad movie.
And it came out at a time right out of the pandemic. We were sick of being stuck inside. And what better way to have member berries together? That sounds dirty. At the theater.
Right. But my thing is, after watching the movie again, like I said, I've watched the movie plenty of times at home again. It never has that same pop like it did the first time when I saw it. That's the thing about it. Not to say it's a bad movie. I'm entertained by it. I love the movie. I'm just saying it never gave me that same pop. Now, Guardians 3, on the other hand, doesn't rely on member berries. It's not a commercial for 20 other movies coming forward, because this movie is it. Like at the end of it, it's the end of it. Like maybe they'll.
I always. Oh, go ahead. No, you can finish.
No, it's cool. I'm just saying, like the end of it is like you can tell this is it. Now maybe they will continue with a Guardians of the Galaxy movie again, but it won't be with these people. That's definitive. So,
the Young Guardians or some shit.
or something, or a whole new crew.
Yeah.
And they can have a whole new crew. Cause like I said, there's so many other Guardians in the comics that they haven't touched. Beta Ray Bill is a member, so they can refill the roster with other people if they want,
Yeah.
So,
but I always said, I out of all the MCU movies, I always felt Guardians were the only movies that you could actually watch that you did not have to know about any of the other comic books or see any of the other movies. You know what I mean? Like they kind of existed in their own sort of universe, or galaxy or whatever. But even though they did pop up in other movies, you could watch those movies without reading a comic or without knowing any of the Avengers or any of that shit. That's what I
even
that's what
reading the comics will fuck you up on them, because James Gunn kind of says fuck continuity. I'm gonna just do whatever I want to with any of these characters. Like if you read the comics versus what James Gunn did with the movies, they're very different. Like some people stay the same, but mostly very different. But that's okay, because James Gunn is telling his story, and I'm okay with that. So even though he changes up characters, the way he's doing it, I'm feeling it. Like Star-Lord sucked in the comics, like back in the 70s, 80s, shit like that. He made Star-Lord relevant, like with the way he did it, and I enjoy that. What else I say with that? I'm gonna just keep going down the road. Now, the reason I put Guardians over Spider-Man, like I said, Spider-Man, bunch of gimmicks that it relied on, but Guardians relied on great storytelling, great acting, great emotion. You felt emotion all through this movie. Well, I felt emotion all through this movie. This took me high. It took me low. I almost cried. It almost got me. I promise you, it almost got me on like about 2 scenes. And they're not the scenes you think happened. One scene that almost got me was the very last scene of the movie, which I was for you, when Drax danced. I almost cried on that because I was so emotional. Like if you watch the movie, it was like an emotional scene when he did it. He just started dancing for no reason. I was like, I almost got him to start clapping. I'm like, that's my boy, but I'm not going to go there how deep it was in there, but it was some deep stuff in there. So it was like, okay, all the stuff that the Guardians have been going through, they've been dealing with all this trauma. They've been depending on each other. They almost got to the point that they're codepending on each other and they need each other. And you just feel that they had that family dynamic. They bicker, they argue, stuff like that. One thing I did like about this movie did I move something? Oh, we're good. One thing I did like about the movie that they fixed some of the problems I had in the other movies, in the other 2 movies. Star-Lord, for instance. I like Star-Lord. Star-Lord's awesome. I feel like these movies were too Star-Lord centric. It's Star-Lord and everybody else just revolves around Star-Lord. This movie isn't that. Star-Lord is kind of like pushed to the background. I mean, he's still there, but he pushed to the background. And he's like blends in with other characters. Oh wait, internet's probably going bad again. Anyway, what I was talking about. Are you there?
Am I here?
Yeah, you there?
Are
okay,
you there?
cool. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm here. We blacked out for a second, but we're back now. All right, so that's the thing about that. So it felt like that he was hogging up too much space, and he was taking up too much time from other characters. Well, now that he's put back, you can focus more on these other characters.
Can you hear me?
Acting with each other, and that's interesting.
Yeah.
You got Drax and Manus and Nebula interacting with each other, which you've never seen that before. And it's interesting how Nebula, who is this smart, capable killing machine, interacts with 2 dumbasses. And it's interesting how they, get interact with each other. Also, what they did with Gamora was interesting. To me, they fixed Gamora on this. Okay, so here's the thing about this. Like we all seen Infinity War, Endgame, whatever the movie was. Thanos threw her off a cliff. She died. Alternate version of it came back and went and stuff like that. Okay, fool. We caught up now. Here's the thing. So now she doesn't know any of them. She doesn't care about any of them. She is a cold-blooded assassin in this movie. So like when I grew up reading the comics and I saw Gamora, they always call her the deadliest woman in the galaxy and the daughter of Thanos. But when you see her in the first 2 movies and stuff like that, she was like the teen mom. I'm like, okay, that's cool, But here, no, she's an assassin. She will fuck people up. She will, do anything. So when you look at her and see deadliest woman in the galaxy, she's that. So like they fixed her. They made her a badass in this movie, which I like. And also I almost like the dynamic of her and Quill, because the thing is, at the beginning of the movie, Star-Lord is depressed. He's like an alcoholic, drinks stuff like that, because Gamora's no longer in his life. But now when she shows back up, they don't have that connection anymore. They don't put them back together. They don't do a will they won't they thing again like that. Like Star-Lord is still going after her, but she doesn't give a shit about him. And she never gives a shit about them. The best she does at the end of the movie is kind of get to the point where she can understand why her in her former life could fall in love with this guy, but she never feels that way for him again. And the whole movie is really with Star-Lord coming to terms with, I have to get over her. What I had with Gamora no longer exists anymore. Even though this woman looks like Gamora, she's not my Gamora. And that's him coming to terms with it. And I thought that was brilliant how they did with that. And the whole point was codependency. That's the whole point of this movie. And the best part of this movie, because like I said, since they pushed back Star-Lord, the star of the movie is Rocket. Rocket is the star of the movie, the heart of the movie, has the best storyline in the movie. A third of the movie is a Rocket origin story, because we always wanted to know what Rocket's story was, and we never knew it. This movie tells us, and that was why they took so long to tell us, because it is a fucked up story. Like Peter Parker whining about his uncle getting shot and shit like that. You got nothing on Rocket. Sorry, because he went there. So you felt every emotion for Rocket, and because of that asshole, the High Evolutionary. Let me see if I can get to him. Like, I got to talk about the High Evolutionary also for a second. I never get a chance to talk about him. Where is he? Right here? Nope, not right there. Right there, High Evolutionary. Now, another thing I would say about the High Evolutionary, high praise I'm about to say about High Evolutionary. High Evolutionary will go down, at least until this point, as the most hated villain in a Marvel movie ever. Period.
Well, that's not really hard.
No. I don't mean like I mean like you hate this guy by the end of this movie. Like you feel emotion for this guy. Like, and this ain't no type of I see from his point of view hashtag High Evolutionary, right? No, you will get none of that.
Yeah.
This ain't Thanos where I kind of see his point, or Killmonger. No, this guy's a fucking asshole, sociopathic, narcissistic asshole that you can't wait for the Guardians to get their hands on at the end of the movie.
Yeah. We haven't really had that. I mean,
you haven't had it.
Yeah, the MCU has always had kind of villains, not very memorable villains, except Thanos and
right.
Killmonger.
But and that's the thing, they think the way to make a villain memorable is to make them sympathetic.
Yeah,
like you got to see from their point of view.
Is he really a villain? I can kind of understand where he's coming from. Yeah, we haven't had that villain where we can't wait to get theirs. You know what I mean?
Right.
The only one I can think of. And that's not, is that the end? Luke Cage, what's her face?
Black Mariah. Talking about Black Mariah, yeah.
Like I couldn't wait for her to die. I thought she's a piece of shit. You know,
right? Like,
but is that the MCU? Yeah,
it's a gray area. I say no.
Yeah,
I say no because it's Netflix and they play by different rules. Now continuity,
like she was like ruthless and she was ruthless and diabolical, and I hated her. I don't think we haven't really seen any of those characters from
right.
Like
so because we always complain that MCU villains suck, so they figured a way to make them sympathetic was like Mandarin. I'm not the Iron Man 3 one, but the one from Shang-Chi. Like, oh, he's a dad that's misunderstood, and we would do what he did. And he'd be like, no, this ain't that. This guy is a fucking asshole the whole time. He like abuses Rocket emotionally, physically, any kind of way he talks down to him. Matter of fact, even the mention of his name, like when they come back to present time and they just say High Evolutionary, you can see Rocket in the back like flinching, like he's triggered just from even hearing this guy's name. Like that's how fucked up he is from this guy. And I'm like, damn, he really went there. So that's why I give him credit for that. Now, people don't know about this actor. Like I said, that's why you need to watch Peacemaker. He is the same guy. He was awesome in that. You'd be surprised how many people have not seen Peacemaker yet.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, the same guy.
Oh,
so
I know you're talking about. He was the alien guy.
He was the alien guy. He was a human guy, but human alien guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Still looking for now.
Did you freeze again?
I think you were freezing, but one of freezing. We're good. I've even heard some people say, and now I think I'm freezing. Either way, but I've even heard some people say that they think that High Evolutionary was a better performance than Kang the Conqueror, and I'm thinking like. And I almost agree with them on that.
King the Conqueror.
So from Ant-Man, you didn't see Ant-Man. but
Oh,
yeah, because everybody was saying that Kang Conqueror was the best thing to go watch the movie for, but they were saying like, no, this performance here was better than the performance in Kang, even though they said Kang was like top MCU movie of all time. But I was like, High Evolutionary might have been better because I really, really, really hated this guy by the end of this movie. So
you said Kang. I thought you said Cull because I'm looking at the Conan book right now.
Oh,
I was like, Cull the
don't
Conqueror.
worry,
No,
we're
no,
gonna
King
we're
the
gonna
Conqueror.
get there. We're gonna get to Cole. Yeah. So that's my thing about that. I'm trying to think. So, let's talk about Adam Warlock. Like I said, Adam Warlock, and I know a lot of people were worried about what they do with Adam Warlock. Adam Warlock is Adam. Well, now Adam Warlock did suck, but not because of the performance. No, actually because of performance, not because of the actor. That's I meant to say that. The performance sucked too. But the thing was, it felt like Adam Warlock was only here because fanboys kept complaining about it. Where's Adam Warlock? Where's Adam Warlock? Give me Adam Warlock. Like, fuck it, here's your Adam Warlock. So yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like when they had him at the end of Guardians 2, I'm like, oh shit, well, they need him to fight Thanos. Because I'm thinking about the comics. I'm thinking about Infinity Watch and Infinity War Endgame hadn't come out yet. So we're thinking, oh, Adam Warlock. Well, he fights Thanos in the comics, so cool. But
right, because in the
now
comics,
he
like
shows
Adam
up-
Warlock is on Thor Hulk level. He's on that level. So you need a guy like that to fight Thanos. Yeah.
Yeah, so now he shows up now when Infinity Wars and like, does it matter now? Like, what's he there for?
Well, that's the
Like,
like in this movie, he's an afterthought. Like he's just there. He just showed like he's like a bounty hunter. They just sent him to go get Rock and stuff like that. So he just shows up peppered throughout the movie. So
yeah, because
like
he
if
was
you
an
want
after,
like
wasn't it an after credit scene where they
it was an
mentioned
after
his
credit
name
scene.
and,
So
like,
he shows up, but it's just like
yeah,
he shows up, disappears, shows up, disappears. You kind of forget he's in the movie because he really has no purpose. If you completely cut him from this movie, you will miss nothing. If anything, you shave off some time in this damn movie because it's like 2.5 hours. So it's like one of the longest Marvel movies. So yeah. Which
I mean,
another reason
they made such a big deal about him showing up, and then he doesn't show up till now. I mean,
Now I will say this: when he first shows up, it's awesome. Like he comes in guns blazing. You're like, okay, he's gonna be awesome in this movie. Then he starts acting in the movie. You're like, oh, they're doing that. Okay. Here's the thing: they turn Adam Warlock into another dumbass idiot like everybody else in the Guardians is. When we know that's not Adam Warlock. Adam Warlock is supposed to be, the Golden God. That's what like. Here's the thing: y'all need to play that damn Guardians video game because that's one of the best Guardians thing they ever made. Also, because they had Adam Warlock on there, just a fucking beast on that game. So that's my thing. But like they made him another dumbass idiot, kind of like a baby, like a man child. And I was like, that's not Adam Warlock. That's just a dumbass that need to be on the Guardians. And he joins the Guardians. So at the end of the movie. So it's like, but going forward, they need to fix that. I don't want to see that. So, but like I said, it's almost an afterthought. He's barely in the movie. He's an afterthought. He's kind of just there just to satisfy fanboys. Overall, to the plot of the movie, he doesn't really matter. So I can't even really knock him for that. I'm just knocking him for Adam Warlock fans that are going to the movie expecting to see Adam Warlock and you get this. So yeah, but take Adam Warlock out of the movie, everything else is awesome. Like everybody in the Guardians had a awesome badass scene. Everybody in the Guardians movie had a real emotional scene. Like even Mantis had a scene where she wasn't joking and shit. Like she was actually serious. Drax had a scene where he wasn't joking and shit. He was serious. So they fixed all that where everybody's not just comic relief just all through the movie. They actually like real characters. So, like I said, you feel can I say the biggest spoiler of the movie? Okay. Here it comes. Nobody dies.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, of the big people. Now, the body count is high, because like I said, High Evolutionary goes fucking nuts, start blowing up planets and shit. But as far as like the main characters in the movie, none of them die. So at the end of the movie, they all die.
So like the Guardians are all intact.
The Guardians are all intact. They're all there. They don't die. They don't go missing, anything like that. At the end of the movie, they just have a party. They're all together in the room together. But what happens is, from what they've been through, they realize we are too codependent on each other. We need to like find ourselves, because Star-Lord is still hurt over Gamora. And even though he realized that he can never have Gamora again, he realized he's not emotionally fit to run the Guardians. He needs to separate himself from Guardians. No, He goes back to Earth. That's what he does. He realized he's been running away from Earth and never went back. So he needs to go back there to basically, like, you know, emotionally heal himself, you know, find his roots. So go back to his granddad, you know, and reunites with him. And I thought that was an emotional scene right there. Mantis realized that she has been, she leaves the team also. She realized she had been too tied in with the Guardians. She'd been hopping from Ego, hopping with the Guardians. She never really figured out her own self. So she leaves. And Rocket does become Rocket Raccoon at the end of the movie. Because the thing was, he never knew what a raccoon was, but he finally finds out that he was kidnapped from Earth. And he was kidnapped from animals called raccoons. He was like, oh, I'm a raccoon. Fuck it. Okay. And he accepted. He calls himself, I'm Rocket Raccoon, and starts blowing up shit. So that was cool. Fight scenes awesome when like all the Guardians together and an army comes for them. Because when they're finally clicking, that action scene was fucking awesome. It was like a one shot in a hallway. Not like Daredevil, but it was like awesome where everybody just goes there. And it was, man, awesome. Awesome movie. Got to put on there. I'm going to put a score on it because I think we've gone too long, or maybe not long enough, but I think we've gone long enough. Anyway, put a score on it. 4.5 out of 5. Knocking it because Adam Warlock sucked. Runtime was a little bit too long. They could have trimmed down a little bit. You know, that's it. Now, I know what you're thinking, Eli. I gave Spider-Man No Way Home a 5 out of 5. But I'm saying this movie is better than me with a 4.5 out of 5. So what the fuck? You know, because hindsight is 2020. You know, like I said, it's I was on it high from Spider-Man because it was a fucking rock concert when it came out of it. But now thinking about it, I'm like, it probably should have been like around the 4.5 range also, in my thing. You think it's gonna have a take a big hit more? Hell yeah. Let me talk about this for a second. Okay. Everybody think, is Marvel back? Is Marvel back on track? No, Marvel's not back on track. Marvel has always done this. This is not something new. People thinking they fell off. No, Marvel always does this. Mid, Winter Soldier. Mid, Ragnarok. Mid, Infinity War. Endgame. What's the next movie? Marvel, the Marvels? We're back to where we were before. So, and it's going to just crank out those movies back and forth. So don't think for a second that this movie's going to
Loki season 2.
Right. So don't think for a second Marvel is back on track. It's going to get Marvel back where they went. No, this is just a bump in the road. It's a valley, and we're going to go back to where we were before because honestly, the majority of Marvel movies, this is what they are. Not Guardians, not Guardians 3, because this movie's awesome. The other shit, Doctor Strange 2 and Ant-Man 3. That's what they are. That's what they've been. They have their peaks. They have the Civil Wars. They have their Ragnaroks and Avengers Infinity Wars. They have their peaks. But the majority of the 30 movies they made, it's Incredible Hulk. It's Iron Man 3. It's Thor: The Dark World. I don't know why people acting brand new like this shit is new. They've been making movies like this at this level.
I've been saying that for years.
Eli has been saying it since we started this podcast. Uncle Vince Blade. Oh, they canceled Blade. They didn't. I'm sorry, they didn't cancel. They pushed it back.
I heard it's on strike or on hold. Uh-oh. Is this a segue?
Why'd you do it, Eli? Why'd you do it? Damn it. Okay, we got to go there. Yeah. Oh, I do want to say that before we go there, just one thing at that. I do want to say that James Gunn did throw in like some DC testing he did. Because like Adam Warlock is just basically doing Superman shit. And I like for the Superman shit, I like that's actually pretty cool. Like when he's in Superman motion, hell, I thought it was pretty awesome. Groot flies. He spreads wings like Swamp Thing.
Okay.
I was like, oh, I see what you're doing.
Shit.
I see what you're doing.
Oh, shit.
So
Okay.
I see him doing a little shit in there right now. But yeah, it's like this. Like I said, if James Gunn is going to DC, if he can crank out stuff like this for DC is on the right track. So yeah. All right. Now let's talk about the thing that I didn't want to talk about, but Eli brought it up. So let's go ahead and talk about it. Let's talk about the writer's strike, because everybody don't know that there's a writer's strike right now. You like big whoop-de-doo. What the fuck does that mean?
I still forgot to share the link. So go ahead.
I did too. I'm sorry. I said I was going to do it and never did it. So yeah, let me see if I can do it now that I don't have to think, because the writer's strike, I'm not going to really think about this shit. So for those who don't know, the writer's strike is in full effect. And you mean, what does that mean? That means that a lot of your favorite movies are either going to get postponed or just flat out canceled. TV shows getting canceled left and right because they're not paying the writers how they want to. Yeah, and that's the thing. So are we going to get this resolved? Maybe, maybe not, because this happened before. This happened back in 2008. And a lot of bad stuff happened, entertainment-wise, happened in 2008 when it happened also. Like I said, since they didn't want to pay writers and didn't have money to pay writers, all they did is crank out reality shows. You don't need writers for reality shows. Just crank that shit out and just let them go. So, but it's a different time now because, like I just showed, like that fake ass Selena Gomez picture, they don't need to hire writers anymore. They've already thinking of replacing writers to begin with, because everybody knows what's been going on online lately. AI. And no, I'm not talking about Allen Iverson. I'm talking about artificial intelligence, because that shit is taking over. And these movie studios are thinking about investing in it. They plan on letting artificial intelligence write their movies. Hell, they kind of already have been to begin with. All they do is just go on Twitter and just focus test and go on Reddit and see what people think and see what people bitching about and just let, social media write their movies. So what's the difference between a robot writing the movies? It's damn near the same thing. So, and you don't really need, like I said, if Netflix is hurting for writers like that, you don't need writers anymore. Go to TikTok, throw $1 million at one of those guys. They more people watch those TikTok videos than they will like Netflix movies anyway. So just throw him on TikTok, pay him a bunch of money, and boom, there you go. You don't need a writer. Recipe hero. Thank you, Jake. I was just about to talk about that. Actually, I wasn't going to talk about that because I forgot about it, but I'm glad you reminded me of it because, yes, Heroes went to shit because of the writer strike. First 2 seasons, pretty good. Didn't have writers. Went to shit. That's what happened. Matter of fact, the writer strike had a big thing also. There was a Justice League movie that was going to be written by George Miller, the Mad Max guy. It was going to be done in 2008, something like that. But they couldn't get the movie done because of the writer strike. They had got the costume fitting. They got all the characters. I think Common was going to be Green Lantern or some shit. Like crazy. It was crazy shit. They had costume fitting, ready to do everything. But since the writer strike hit, they weren't going to go with the movie. When the writer strike ended, Warner Brothers had already moved on. They're like, do something else. So, yeah, so it's some bullshit is going on. But like I said, it's going to be a different time. And I don't know if the writer's going to get what they want to get, because Hollywood is going to try to save a dime any way they can. If they could pay a robot to do what these guys do, they would do that. I mean, hell, we already hearing songs with AI robots on them already. And people don't know the difference. Hell, fucking Biggie got a song on AI right now. Tupac got one on AI right now, and they're just playing, and people don't know the difference. So yeah. Eli, did you have anything to add on that, or?
Not really. As a writer, I say fuck that shit. But that's all. I mean, yeah, I could see. But I'm just saying, okay, what are they just going to give the AI a fake name?
Yeah, pretty much. Or they can just say in the name of the studio.
I can see cutting corners for costs, but yeah. But will that will that be profitable? Like, will people respond to that? That's what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, they will. I mean, we just get like a fake ass AI movie or writing a Fast and the Furious movie. You think people will know the difference? I mean, it's damn near like that as it is now.
Well,
or Jurassic Park or some shit. I mean,
that's Fast and Furious.
That's the movies that make money.
Like a big giant
Transformers.
Yeah,
you don't think AI
yeah.
or AI writing Transformers? They won't know. Like, all they want to see is just big, dumb, stupid shit on there right now. Hell, we got Snapchat got AI right now. Snapchat does have AI right now. They are writing social media statuses, tweets, Facebook, all that shit. I've seen it happen. Yeah, you get to have people write that. So yeah, as far as like, I mean, because all these Transformer movies and Fast and Furious movies, they feel like AI is writing them as it is right now. So, like, would you even claim that you wrote a Fast and Furious movie? Like, with the way this shit is written? And honestly, and be taken seriously.
I mean, I'd have to if they were going to pay me.
You wouldn't admit it. You'd be like, no, I write real shit.
No, that's me. That's my name.
Well, that's how we get our yacht. That's how we get our yacht right there. You write another Fast and Furious movie. So that's the thing. So these writers are going to have a hard time because they don't have to pay these guys anymore. They can just, do the hell they want.
Yeah. Well, it's just another evolution in how in the movie business, in the entertainment. This is entertainment.
Right.
So there's entertainment, then there's art, there's where do you draw the line? That's a whole other fucking discussion I don't feel like getting into. But yeah, I mean, yeah, people are used to certain things, and
I mean, but this is affecting paychecks. That's the thing, because these if these studios don't have to pay writers, they're not going to. And if they leave, they're like, well, bye. Yeah, so, well, like I said, they just crank out, TikTok and reality shows and social media shit.
Yeah,
But
a lot of
it definitely feels like it was. Yeah, written by AI.
Then, but then you have celebrities, you have talent that eventually actors are like, as far as like the movies are like the kind of the bot they want actors. That's why you see Ben Affleck and all these actors become filmmakers. Ron Howard and all these motherfuckers end up becoming filmmakers because they want to, control what they make, and writing is a part of that. So we'll see. We'll see.
Right, and that right. You're talking about the writers and filmmakers and directors that have integrity. Everybody isn't like that.
Yeah, I mean, ever since the big corporations took over in the 70s, yes, that's pretty much what it was. I mean, that's what birthed Spielberg and George Lucas and Coppola and Scorsese, all that, the next evolution in filmmaking. Now we're in it like with streaming, and it's a whole different ball game now. But like I said, this is like discussion that's gonna go way too deep. And I'm not smart enough to talk about.
You want the mainstream shit. You want to be honest. I'm giving you guys the writers pay them, but it could be good. But that's what I'm saying though. Okay, we saying that they need to pay the writers, but look at this shit these writers have been writing. Not the good shit. Think about the big shit. Think about Transformers. Think about Fast and the Furious. Like, think about this shit they've been writing already. So what are we paying them for? That's all I'm saying. What are we paying these guys for if they're just writing this shit anyway?
Yeah, well, but those, the franchise, you're talking about franchises, which are just factory made, products, but yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Entertainment, art, that's two different things. Like, entertainment sells, and, big fluffy bubblegum stuff that pops, and the razzmatazz and the giant explosions and the big tits and the big guns and the big asses and the muscles and everyone wants to see, and
it's all focused, tested, group think. Yeah,
it doesn't take much. There's a lot of cooks in that kitchen, and I can see them trying to trim down, cutting corners on that, downsizing the factory, so to speak.
Hell, we might be AI one time. We might not even be here now.
Is that you? Is that really you?
This is not me. I am Max Headroom over here right now.
You're actually a white guy, damn it.
Exactly. It's me.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
This man said the first that there probably won't get filled until strike is done. It's not coming out 2 years from now anyway. So yeah. Okay. Is he AI?
Is he speechless?
Yes. Like, what? All right. So let's move to the next part of the podcast. Let's just do our due diligence. Just say, okay, so there was a Doom trailer came out. Yeah.
I thought we weren't talking about this.
We're not. I just want to say we talked about it. We have talked about it. Let's move on. Okay.
Yeah, sure. Dune, part 2 coming soon.
Exactly.
Riding worms and battling big space battles.
Exactly. 2.5 hour perfect commercial. There you go. All right. We said we're going to talk about it. We're going to move on. All right. Now, something I want to talk about, we're going to move to the video game section. We're going to talk about something I want to talk about more than anything else on this podcast. I want to talk about Gran Turismo, because they announced a Gran Turismo movie. I didn't even know this was a thing. I didn't know how you can even make a Gran Turismo movie, because there's no storyline. It's driving cars. That's it. But shocking nobody, Eli, I have put over 500 hours a piece in each Gran Turismo game, like minimum. Like, some of I've done 1,000. Like, I play these games over and over again. I think these games even taught me how to drive, to be honest with you. I played them so much. Don't ask me how many speed ticks I got though, but yeah. So the thing is, what we got going on right now, what are they making this movie about? So they actually making it based on a true story, kind of like Tetris, what they did. So a couple years ago, Gran Turismo actually put out these gave the players that put a whole bunch of hours in registration forms. I even got one of those registration forms at one time, but I paid no attention to it. And it was actually inviting people to the thing called GT Academy, where if you were like really, really good at the game, you would get invited to actually train to become a real racer and race with real racers. And apparently one of these guys did make it and actually became a professional racer. And actually, you know, I think he may even still have a career in it. So they're making a true story on that. And I thought that was pretty
I'm about to say, is this a true story?
It's a true story. Yeah, it happened. Yeah. This movie was written by AI. $50 that this movie was written by AI. The game is AI. So yeah, so might as well. Sound like Fast and Furious has competition. I'll be honest with you, DeAndre, I'm more excited for this than I am Fast and Furious. I will see this first Gran Turismo.
I did watch this trailer and I thought it looked pretty interesting. So
it's made by they got a real director, like a good one, Neil Blomkamp, whatever.
Oh,
you know,
Blomkamp.
yeah, you know, sometimes they just like throw people on there, like, hey,
District
that made
9.
that Funny or Die sketch. Make this $200 movie, you know.
District 9.
Yeah, District 9. So they actually got a real director to make the movie. So that got me excited. I'm like, huh. So and because like I said, we're in a video game movie renaissance right now. Like I said, we got Mario made $1 billion, first $1 billion movie of 2023. We got Sonic making all these movies. We got The Last of Us. We got it's another video game movie I'm missing too, but whatever it was. But now we got this. So they're pumping money into this stuff. Do y'all see Frankie Muniz racist cars now? Does he?
Racist? Oh,
No, not Malcolm in the Middle is a racist. No, we're not saying that. No.
Frankie Muniz is racist.
He's canceled. No. Oh yeah, so not that. No. I did not know that. I haven't seen
I met
him.
that dude
Yeah.
actually. He's in a band.
Really?
He played the club that I worked at, and dude's like 2 feet tall, and he's super short.
That's what is it with these all child actors that they never grow bigger than 4 feet? I don't know what it is. They're doing something to me, like they're putting something in their food. That's what they're doing. You're gonna be a kid actor forever. Yeah, so is this a PlayStation movie? Yeah, no, I don't know. Uncharted. Jake, Uncharted came out last year. Uncharted sucked, but hopefully this is better than that. It can't be worse. So yeah. PlayStation putting money into the stuff. So that did not work. What else we got? I think that's it. That's all the stuff I wanted to hit. Like I said, I'm excited for that. We're gonna go from there. Now, that being said,
I think I've played a Gran Turismo. I'm pretty sure I played it. Oh, you know what I just played?
You don't play Gran Turismo. You experience Gran Turismo.
You
live it.
No, but
you
over the
bleed
week,
it.
over the weekend, I played. Because of the May the 4th. Pod Racer, Star Wars Pod Racer was free on Xbox Live, so I was playing Pod Racer over the weekend.
Huh. On Xbox Live? I didn't know they made on Xbox Live. I remember on PlayStation.
Xbox, yeah.
I've actually never played that one. I wanted to, but I never played it.
You're like Anakin and Tatooine, the pod race.
Oh yeah, I know it. I've seen it before. Like I've seen the box art of it, and I was like, should I play that? But I never got around to playing. Like every other Star Wars game around the time, like Episode 3, when you actually like fight and shit like that.
Oh, when you unlock that shit at the end.
Did you play that when you
The
like
Revenge
doing
of
the
the
versus
Sith,
battle?
where you unlock that, the fighting game at the end.
Yeah, that game was awesome. Yeah,
that was dope.
Yeah, so I don't know. They think you bring that back. It's free right now. Games with Gold.
Yeah,
I don't have Games with Gold. I know I keep saying I'm going to get it.
Oh, the gold subscription. That's what.
If you got it, I keep saying I'm going to get it, but I'm going to go ahead. Did y'all ever play the new game? I thought about it, Jake. I thought about it. But I didn't like the first one.
The Jedi Survivor.
I didn't like the first one, so that's why I didn't get it. Now, if this one's better, cool. But I didn't like it. So
yeah, I spent like 3
days. What the Jedi Survivor? Oh, you talking about Pod Racers? Yeah.
No, I already copped it. Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's on.
No, I haven't played the new Jedi. I played the last one, and I spent like 3 days like killing frogs or some shit. I'm like, I ain't got time.
Yeah, I was like, I think I got stuck on a puzzle, and I was like, you know what?
Yeah, I was like trying to climb rocks and shit. I was like,
I just want to kill shit, man. Just throw me in shit.
For that, man.
I ain't got time for the puzzles and go on Wikipedia and shit like that and look at YouTube. Just no. Just give me shit to kill. I ain't got time for all this shit.
Yeah, man.
Like not that I can't solve the I just don't give a fuck about solving the puzzle.
I just ain't got time for it. I mean, I can't sit there for fucking 8 hours a day trying to beat a game that's you know what I mean. I just can't do that shit.
Give me something to kill. I got a limited amount of time before I head to work. Give me something to kill
or punch or whatever. Yeah,
right. So yeah, I got stuck supposed to be too. It through Gears of War. Right, Gears of War is that shit. Yeah. Won't they make a good open world Star Wars game? I mean, didn't they? I thought they did.
Maybe wasn't one of them Knights of the Old Republic or some shit.
Mm-mm.
Galaxies.
Well,
Galaxies.
okay, so that is, I think what they call it, a MMORPG, some shit like that. But you
Yeah.
actually like live that shit, like you can get your own house and like pay mortgage, or it's like real crazy. Blue
Yeah,
milk, you know.
I ain't got time for that either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next part of the podcast. Okay, like I said, it's comic book bullies, but we talk about comic books. And Eli, I'm gonna let you jump into it because you want to talk about free comic book days. So,
Oh, okay, sure. Well, since we're talking about we need to
remaster Battlefield Front 2.
We
No,
did
just
have
play Battlefield
Are
Front 2.
you talking about the old one? Because they
He's talking about
released
the old one. He's talking about the
EA
old
one. The EA
No,
one.
the pandemic one. That's
The
a
one-
fucked up name, but yeah, that's the name of the company that made them.
The pandemic.
That was the name of the company that made that game. It was Pandemic. Yeah,
All right,
that aged poorly, but yeah.
let's see. Well, since I'll talk about Free Comic Book Day then.
Mm.
Yeah, Free Comic Book Day.
Did you read that Vampire Superman book or whatever? Free comic book?
Oh yeah, the what's it called?
Nightmare Nation or some shit?
Nightmare or something. I do. It's in the pile.
Okay.
But I will start out. Yeah, so I grabbed Conan the Barbarian #0. This is the free
Cool.
comic book. Yeah, this is the Free Comic Book Day. It's just basically an introduction into the new Conan series. So Marvel doesn't have Conan anymore.
Right. They lost Conan what, about like a year ago or some shit like that.
Yeah, so Titan Comics is now putting it out. And who is writing? Let's see. I think it was Jim Zub. Yeah, Jim Zub is writing it with Rob De La Torre and Jose Villarubia doing the art. So yeah, I picked it up. It looks cool. It's basically going to focus on a younger Conan. And this comic, the Free Comic Book Day issue they gave out, just has a young Conan in one of his first battles. Him and he's with the Cimmerians. So obviously this is before the Cimmerians were wiped out. He's fighting the Aquilonian army, and it's just him in battle. One of his first battles, and talking about how badass he is, and how how he loves killing motherfuckers and shit, and then just a preview of things to come. How he's gonna travel the lands and be, Conan the badass and shit. So it's just kind of a an introduction into his character, so a revamping of the story of Conan. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, it was, like I said, it was one of the free comic books they gave out. I also picked, since you mentioned it, Night Terrors.
Is that what it's called?
Night Terror, DC Night Terrors.
I like mine better. Nightmare Nation. They should call it
Nightmare.
that.
So yeah, this is just a preview of some big event coming up this summer. Gonna be some horror event.
Because here's the thing, I downloaded it, didn't read it. I was like,
The free comic book.
Yeah, I downloaded because it's on Comixology right now.
It's like 10 pages of Damien having a nightmare.
Yeah, I was like, okay.
He dreams of all basically monster versions of all the DC heroes.
That story again. Okay.
Yeah. So, and it shows, and then in the back of the book we have like sketch art. We have Night Terror, Batman, Bruce Wayne. So, okay, this is weird. I don't know if you want to like zoom in on this shit.
Hold on, let me get you in there. Let's see what we got. What
so
about
Night Terror, Bruce Wayne?
What? Why is he a boy?
I think that's Bruce Wayne.
Is he eating a heart?
No, he's like
Shooting
spitting out a bat with a gun on its head. I don't know.
Okay.
It's a dream.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then this is Demon Superman.
Now, that looks pretty cool. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Then we have a Demon Wonder Woman, a Demon Red Hood, Demon, or Nightmare Wonder Woman, Nightmare Robin, Nightmare Black Adam. Check out Nightmare Black Adam. It looks pretty cool.
Okay. Yeah. Pretty cool. Nightmare. Okay.
Yeah. And then we have like the cool, sweet fantasy art versions of them, the cool art.
Oh yes, they had like a pinups in the background.
Yeah. It looks very Spawn, very very Spawn. So yeah, and it's some event coming up this summer. But geez, check out this checklist.
Oh fuck no.
This is 2 months, July and August. But yeah, look at that shit. It just keeps going.
Hell no.
2 months of this.
Like a little memorial wall. No, hell no. That's the credits to Endgame. I'm not reading that shit.
Yeah, it's a fucking phone book, man.
Right. Nah, that's okay. What's free comic book day? What? I'm gonna let you handle that. Yeah.
Where you been?
Jake wants to know what's free
Why
comic book.
are you even here?
Because we don't do comics. That's why. That's why he's here and not at Gomer.
I picked up a couple of horror comics this Fright Night. I've always been. I don't know if you've seen the old vampire movie from the 80s, Fright Night. There's a comic series. I checked it out. You know, some preview of the Archie horror series, the Archie horror books. You know, what was that one I read? Betty the Final Girl, and you know, got previews of that
from the same company.
Yeah, basically a preview of little samples of the Archie horror comics. And then I grabbed West of Sundown. I haven't read this yet. This has been out. This is a series that's been going on a while. Tim Seeley, he's been writing it. It's about vampires in the Old West, I guess, like cowboy vampires or some shit. Vampire gunslingers or something. So it was free, so I grabbed it. So yeah, I went to the comic book store and I actually bought a physical copy of Batman 900.
Nice. Support local comic book.
Support.
So Jake, that's what Free Comic Book Day is. So once a year, they just give away free comics, which is the one that Eli just reviewed. But while you're there, you also want to patron your local store also. Like, why don't him
He's
get
talking
free
shit. He knows what Free Comic Book Day is.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
For those who don't know, yes.
For those who don't know, I'm just talking to everybody at that point. So yeah.
Yeah, you try to throw the comic book store because it might be free to customers, but comic book stores actually have to buy these free comics to give it out. And then I grabbed me another. I grabbed it was only $1. I grabbed me another Hack/#1. Speaking of Tim Seeley, he signed my other #1, but it's like in shitty condition because I bought it off the rack. It's really fucked up. He even said, like, God damn, this is in shitty shape. And he signed it. So now it's not as shitty because he signed it. But, it was only $1. So this is Hack/#1, one of my favorite horror series, one of my favorite comics, period. If you're into horror comics, if you're into slasher movies, check this out. So yeah. Free Comic Book Day. There you go. Oh, and as far as I'll give it a 4 out of 5. I might check out this new Conan series. I'm a Conan fan. So.
Cause hell, didn't Jim Zub write the Marvel book?
He was, yeah. Jason Aaron, yeah. He passed then Jason Aaron was doing like the King Conan. I think that was the last story.
But I think Jim Zub was doing that Savage Avengers book.
Yeah.
I think he was doing that. So yeah.
So we're gonna have
which Conan was in. So yeah.
Yeah. So Marvel Conan was fun while it lasted. I think he was a little bit neutered because it was Marvel and Disney. They couldn't.
And he had to fit in with the Avengers and the X-Men and all that shit.
Yeah, they did the Savage Avengers, which that was stupid fun. I will admit that was a fun book. Conan swinging a drunk Wolverine,
killing ninjas and shit.
Killing ninjas. That was that put a smile on my face. So I wasn't mad at Marvel or the Savage Avengers. Conan joining the Avengers. But now we're gonna go back to nitty gritty. I'm hoping Titan goes a little hard.
Titan can go a little hard. Like they did that. What's that book? That Gun Bunny book that I reviewed.
I remember that. I did read that. I read the first issue.
Yeah, Gun Bunny. It went harder. Like when I didn't review the other books, but they went harder later on. So they can go there with Conan. So.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll probably check it out.
Cool. All right. So what are we gonna do? So I'm going to do an X-Men book. We're back with the regular X-Men. That Sins of Sinister shit is over with. So we are back with Immortal X-Men number 11. Now, this book was actually on hiatus to do the whole Sins of Sinister thing, but now that that's back, the story is back. So Immortal X-Men 10 was back in January. So then we're back on time. So now, if you didn't read Sense of Sinister and you just picked this up from 10 to 11, you will be lost. This is going directly into the fallout. Matter of fact, this is Sense of Sinister Aftermath. So, and Storm is kind of like leading both Earth and Mars now. She's leading like 2 nations or planets. So let's get to it. Basically going on, we picked up the last time we left off, like 4 of the Quiet Council members were sucked into the pit. So Storm says, bring him back up. Like, okay. And now Rasputin 4 from the future is an X-Man now. She's just there. So she brings them up. And the first she say, bring Charles up first. So she brings Charles up, and she's just looking like, Charles, you piece of shit. She just talking about shit Charles the whole time. Because she remembers thinking about the first time she met Charles, like back in Giant Size X-Men back in the 70s when they first met. Wish I had a picture. Don't have a picture. I might pull it up in post. But when Charles first met Storm, she was flying all over Africa, basically making rain to all the desert places, deserted places that needed rain. And when Professor X came and met us, everybody worshiped her as a goddess. She's like, you're a god. We worship you. We offer you tributes like that. And Charles came and said, you're not a god. You're a mutant, and he accused her of hubris. And now Storm is looking at him like, you piece of shit. You accused me of hubris. What the hell are you doing? You acting like you're a god with all the stuff you did, especially 1,000 years in the future. You just took over the universe, Then they freed the rest of them. They freed them. And basically Storm is just like, all right, we're going to get you out of the pit because we're going to run scans on you to see if we can find that sinister gene that activated that made you go crazy and take over the universe. So they put him in some machine that is operated by your boy Forge. So
Ooh.
yeah. Now, like I said, you may not know much about Forge, but in the 80s, Forge and Storm were a thing.
I did know that.
Yeah.
Didn't she go to like the spirit world trying to find his ass or some shit?
Something like that, but they were hot and heavy. Man, even now, when Storm brought them down with Storm, they even like exchanging looks and stuff like that. Like, okay, maybe we should get this back up. But what about T'Challa? What about T'Challa? All the stuff like that. So anyway, Forge found the sinister gene and basically cut it out of them. So now they're like, okay, cool. Let's get back to work. Okay. They're like, not so far. Just because we found one gene, Sinister might have did some other bullshit, maybe put another gene in there. So here's what we're going to do. You can sit at the Quiet Council, but none of you have a vote there. You have no power in the Quiet Council. You're just empty seats because we have to pretend, we have to keep up appearances for the, for the common folk, for the people, to let them know that nothing's going wrong with the Quiet Council, but you're just there. As a matter of fact, Charles, you no longer save the files on there. We're giving it to the Cuckoos. Hope, you're doing it, but we're watching everything you do to make sure you don't crank out some sinister clones afterwards. So you're still part of the 5, but we're not there yet. And yeah, so, and then she basically tells them what's going on. Oh, and she makes them watch the 1,000-year history that everything happened. So they all know what they did. They all know how they took over the universe and how fucked up everything was. Like,
oh, is this me? Am I on by myself? Oh, okay. So Jake says that he could hear me, but doesn't see Leroy. Leroy must have got jumped off. Okay. So while Leroy probably has to reboot his computer, I guess I'll go on to my next comic. And I will do. Okay. I'll do this Batman comic. Batman 900. Now I apologize because I have not been on the Batman series. I've been off and on ever since Chip Zdarsky took it over. I've been off and on Batman for a while. But I'm not familiar with what was going on in this story arc, but I will fill you in on what I do know after reading this book. Basically, there's some guy named the Red Mask or whatever who's been jumping through the multiverse. And every multiverse he goes through, he kind of, I think, creates Jokers or something like that. And then Batman has to go chase him. He basically chases this guy through the multiverse. And in the multiverse, he meets like every version of Batman. He meets Right here, you can see he meets Batman 89, the Michael Keaton version. He meets Frank Knight's Dark Knight, or Frank Miller's Dark Knight version of Batman. He meets Batman 66. He meets, New 52 Batman. He meets basically every version of Batman. And in the end, whips the guy's ass and shit. Basically says that, they always sort of, comment on why Batman doesn't kill, why Batman doesn't kill the Joker and stuff. But then in this book, they basically says, even in the universes that the Joker was dead, that there's still chaos. There's still some psychopath that is out there causing chaos and mayhem. So it doesn't really matter. And so Batman is going to stick to his code of not killing, and because that's just who he is. That's an oath he swore to himself, and he's just going to stick to it. But yeah, this is number 900. So it's basically, I think, a celebration. It was an extra thick issue. And it was kind of like an annual. Like I said, it was basically doing a greatest hits of Batman. And yeah, it was cool. Like, I guess this is the end of this story arc, this Red Mask story arc. So yeah, I haven't read it in a couple months, so I wasn't sure. Is that him? Is he back? Oh, he's back. So yeah, I will give this book 3 out of 5. It was pretty cool to see all the other versions of Batman. There's even a Batman the Animated Series version. It popped up in this. So it was kind of cool to see all the greatest hits, and in the end, it was just the greatest hits. And I didn't read the rest of the arc, so I wasn't too sure what was going on, but I got the gist of it. So I'll give it a 3 out of 5. This was basically just an annual. So yeah. And Leroy's back. Can you hear me?
Okay. Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Screwed up. Here.
Yeah, it took us a while. Yeah, it took us a while to figure out that. I guess you cut out, but I was just kind of sitting here talking to myself, like,
you're like,
Leroy, are you there? Are you there?
Don't worry, y'all. I didn't get kidnapped or anything like that. We just had technical difficulties. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, Storm book. I'm not going to finish that. We're going to move on past that one. It was cool. More political intrigue. So you didn't catch it. That's it. We'll move on past that. Let's move on to the next book, because what I want to do actually is, and hopefully we'll go a lot smoother this time. We're going to do, okay, Eli, did you read that Superman John Kent book?
I did.
Okay, so this one, and I almost want to put this in the video game section, because it should go in the video game section, but we're not going to go there. Shout out for Fat T for checking on me. Fat T, I am still alive. So, yeah. Yeah, so like I said, we're going to do John Kent number 3. This is a Superman book, but it's like a side Superman book that was going on before. And this one is pretty interesting because this one is where he meets Injustice Superman. Yes, that Injustice Superman, the one from the video game, the one that went nuts, took over the planet and all this shit like that. So what do we got? We need rating on it. Oh, rating. 3.5 out of 5. Reason I'm gonna give it a 3 on the X-Men book, not on this one. The reason I'm gonna give it a 3.5 out of 5 because it's the Immortal X-Men is basically like the governing body of the X-Men. So it's like reading the West Wing for X-Men. And if you're into that, cool. If you're not into that, there's a whole lot of political intrigue in the story. So, but John Kent number 3. So let's just start off, see where we're going on. Oh, let me get it loaded up. Let's see, go right there. And hopefully it goes a lot smoother than it did last time, because this book actually did want to review. Yeah. Here we go. All right. So, like I said, the cover on it, like I said, Injustice from the video game, Injustice Superman. John Kent, Superman's son, hops over to that universe, and they meet for the first time. So, let's get to it. All right. So, meanwhile, in the Hall of Justice, you got, like I said, this is classic Injustice with Injustice Wonder Woman, and they're basically saying, they found John Kent, he passed out, and they took him to the only person they trust, Lex Luthor. Now, on this planet, Lex Luthor is Superman's best friend, but he's not, because he's going to betray him. But Superman is an asshole. Lex Luthor's a good guy. It's confusion, backwards, timey-wimey, all this shit like that. So anyway, Lex Luthor is there. He basically runs tests on John, telling him John has powers he doesn't know about because he still because that Lazarus planet kind of screwed him up, you know. Basically tell him you're okay, you got a clean bill of health, and get out of here, you know. So he goes, and that's when Injustice Superman walks in and he sees him. Now, for those that haven't played that video game, this is a very important scene because that's when Joker basically poisons Superman, makes him kill Lois Lane when she's pregnant with their child. He blows up Metropolis. He puts his hand through Joker's chest, finally kills him, goes nuts, and bans all superheroes that don't work for him. So
didn't Tom Taylor write all that too?
Tom Taylor wrote that. Yes, Tom Taylor wrote that comic. Now he didn't write the video game, but he wrote the comic based on the video game, and the comic went way deeper than the video game ever did. And Tom Taylor wrote all that shit. So yeah. Matter of fact, like one of the first things he did with DC was that book. So now he sees John Kent. He's like, oh shit, that's my baby that died. That if my baby would have lived, I wouldn't have went nuts and killed everybody. You know. So that's what kind of like looking at John, like he's staring at John so much. So he feels like this is his second chance to do things right. You know. So he just like he gets a word. He's just like, oh, I got some stuff I got to handle. I need you to stay here while I go handle this. Don't go anywhere. We'll talk later on. He says Damian is doing so. He like Damian, like my Damian, like Robin Damian, like some weird shit going on. So Flash tell him some crazy shit going on. And Flash like, why the hell are these teenagers wearing your colors? You know. But anyway, he's telling them Damian's out. He's crazy. Let's go find him. So they go and they leave in there. But of course, you know, John is not going to stay where he's at. He's going to find him. He's like, I want to know what the hell's going on this planet. So he goes there. And there's Damian. Now, I got to talk about Damian because if you haven't played the video game, spoiler alert, Damian works for Superman. He is Superman's #1 assassin. He killed Dick Grayson in this universe. So that's why him and Batman are at odds right now. But like I said, John doesn't know all that shit. So that's when Batman and Damian facing off against each other. And this time they're both out for blood. Like they fought before, but they're really fighting this time. So they go at it. And that's when John starts thinking, like, Damian, what the hell going on? Like, I know you two have had your issues before, but what the hell going on with this? Like, he doesn't know anything. He thinks they're the same. And and that's when Damian throws Superman because he doesn't know in the video game, everybody's got superpowers. Damian, Batman, everybody's super strong. The reason they did that because the game wanted to write, like, how can Superman throw Batman through a building and not die? So they wrote that into the plot to basically explain the video game. Like they're back at it again. They smack the shit out of each other. John tried to stop Damian. He like, okay, you've gone fucking crazy. What the hell's going on? And that's when Superman shows up and he's like, where's Batman? I thought Batman was here. He was like, nah, this kid made him get away. You're like, kid? I would say maybe it's you. Matter of fact, I'm probably even older. He was like, don't get in my way again or I'll kill you. You know, so he was like, okay, so this world's kind of crazy. John wants to see, look, I need to see exactly what you've done with this world. And Superman's like, well, go ahead. Go surf the world by yourself and just let us know. And so you can see what we've done to this planet. You're like, okay. So, and then while he goes by himself, Wonder Woman's like, was that a good idea if you just let him go by himself? He was like, look, I trust my son. I want my son to see what I've done. And Wonder Woman's like, he's not your son. Your son is dead. Your wife is dead. That's somebody else. And instead of, you know, Superman like smacking the shit out of her, he just, you know, gets sad and stuff. He's like, well, let John find out and we'll find out what he says from there. So John just goes around, uses super senses, uses supervision. He noticed that the air is cleaner. There's no gunfire. There's no wars. None of that is going on this planet. But he does hear a baby crying and he flies down and it's a baby fell out of a roof, you know. So he catches the baby, gives it back to the mother. She's like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to drop my baby. But then she sees, you know, I don't know what the fuck that happened for, but yeah, but she sees a Superman symbol and she gets scared. She's like, oh shit, I'm sorry. I did not mean to throw my baby out a window, you know, please don't kill me, you know. So she runs back in the house and she's like, okay, that was weird. And then he finally realized what the hell's going on. Okay, the reason it's quiet is not because they brought peace to the planet. He's brought fear to the planet. This isn't freedom. This is fear. Mm-hmm. So he realized, dun, 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 Injustice Superman is evil. The shit we've already known for like the last 10 years. So yeah, so it's setting up the story. We're kind of going forward from that one. I kind of want to see where it goes. I guess Batman's going to show back up again. They're going to fight again. So yeah, I'm enjoying this little side story what they got going on. So yeah.
Yeah, I thought yeah. I'm still on this, so yeah. They haven't
Tom
lost
Taylor-
me yet.
Yeah, Tom Taylor doing Tom Taylor shit. So yeah.
Yeah.
So so what you got next?
I will do the Lando book.
Okay. Load it
This
up.
is a part of that Star Wars, the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi, which I did not get a chance to go see it in the movies.
I don't even know if it even came to my theater, to be honest with you.
It's been out. I just haven't been able. I haven't been able to see shit. Hard for me to get out these days. But yeah, so that's the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi. So they're basically releasing. Marvel's been releasing anniversary comics. Involving that movie, that the story, characters from that movie. And this basically takes place just before Return of the Jedi, where Han Solo's frozen in carbonite. He's been taken by Boba Fett to Jabba the Hutt, and Chewbacca and Lando Calrissian are out there looking for him. They're searching for him. So this is what this book is. Just a one shot. It's just a story about Lando trying to track down how to get plans. The map that leads into Jabba's palace, and he's basically going through the criminal underworld, trying to find one guy. He's trying to buy the schematics of Jabba's palace off this one guy, but the guy's charging too much because he doesn't like Lando. Lando's conned a bunch of people. He's made enemies throughout the galaxy. So this guy's overcharging for the plans. So then he's like, okay, I don't have 10,000 credits. We got to go raise the money. So they end up going to a casino or where they're betting. That's what he does. He's a card player. He's a gambler. That's what Lando Calrissian is. And they're at this, this casino. They're betting on monster fights and they're playing cards. So he starts playing Sabacc, which is the card game.
The card game where he got the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah,
where he lost the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, Han Solo beat Lando in a big game of Sabacc. That's how he got the Falcon. So he's playing another person, another acquaintance, another criminal underground acquaintance, and who doesn't trust him either. And they're playing, they're betting, and most of the book is like Casino Royale, where they're just playing cards and shit and upping the stakes. But then stormtroopers show up. It turns out that the guy that they tried to buy the Jabba's, palace, the map to Jabba's palace, he ratted Lando out because found out Lando has a bounty on his head that's worth way more than the 10,000 credits he was going to, sell the map to. So he shows up with a bunch of stormtroopers. There's a big old shootout. Chewbacca's in there kicking ass. Lando and his homie are all shooting stormtroopers, taking out stormtroopers. This is an action scene. At one point, they fall into the arena where those monsters are fighting, and motherfuckers get eaten by monsters. So it's just a cool, fun action scene. And he ends up the person that ratted out Lando, the card player that Lando was playing, ends up going and basically taking them out and getting Lando the map for saving her life during that whole card game, and the stormtroopers came in. So she did him a favor and got the map for him. So now they got the map to Jabba's palace, and we know the rest of the story. They infiltrate Jabba's palace to, get Han Solo back. So it's fun, fun little side story. Lando's always a fun character, him going around doing dirt and gambling and shit and conning people and shit. So it was cool. I'll give it a 4 out of 5.
Cool. All right. How'd you celebrate Star Wars Day? We didn't even talk about that.
Oh yeah, I mean, I watched the movies. I watched Star Wars Visions.
Okay, did that drop like that day?
Yeah, well, yeah, I watched it over the weekend. It's those animated Star Wars stories. Different animation studios like Anime, and there's anime Star Wars. There's like stop motion Star Wars, and it's just different Star Wars tales. Nothing to do with any of the characters we know. It's just people getting free reign to do what they want and just kind of sort of giving their own spin on Star Wars storytelling. And a lot of it's pretty cool. There was one episode that actually almost got me to tears.
Uh-oh.
It was about like this indigenous tribe that was wiped out by the Empire. They took over their planet and their water supply, and there's only two of them left. They're sisters, and they go on a raid to go. They have to go raid the Imperial base to get water for themselves to survive. They poisoned the whole planet, took their water supply, killed all the the plant life, just devastated their planet. And yeah, and it turns out one of them is force sensitive, and they basically go on a water raid, but they get caught, and it turns out one of them is force sensitive and does some gnarly shit. And I was like, fuck yeah. It gave had an indigenous theme going on to it. So I thought
did you find out who wrote it?
No, I did not.
Okay.
It's one of those animation studios. Like I'm not familiar with animation or anime or any of that stuff. So I'm sure like AKA David would know. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Oh, that's so and so studio that did Akira and blah blah blah.
Right. Or they were offshoot of this studio and all this
Yeah,
shit. So,
yeah. I'm sure that's what it was. There was another one about like these like slaves mining kyber crystal that sort of echoed like blood diamonds.
Okay, so they're going there. Okay.
Yeah, they were going there. There was it's funny to see like different cultures give their spin on Star Wars and sort of like relate to the themes in Star Wars as far as like like I said, the resilience and the resistance and rebellion, but also the environmental issues and colonization and governments taking over other planets and stuff like that. It's really interesting to see. There's also a few episodes that are dealing with Jedi children leaving their families to go to the Jedi Academy and how heartbreaking that is.
Right, because they'll never see
For
him
the
again.
family, which they never really touched upon, like in the movie, especially the prequels, where Anakin leaves his mom.
Yeah. I mean that was pretty heartbreaking in that. So,
yeah, they kind of just gloss over it, but there's not. These stories go really like they focus on the emotional depth of how heartbreaking that is for a child to be taken away from its family to go to this,
they become a child soldier.
Jedi.
So
Yeah. So yeah, I mean they're cool. They're only like 15, 20 minutes long, so they're really short, like eight or 9 episodes or something every season.
Okay.
So yeah, that's what I checked out. Star Wars Visions. So pretty cool shit.
Cool. I'll check it out. Okay, next book I'm going to do. Well, last book I'm going to do. If I can get through it, I'm going to do Shazam #1. They rebooted. Now the reason I'm doing this one is because it was written by that same team that did that Batman Superman book, Mark Waid and Dan Moria.
Oh, not Super Sons.
Not Super Sons, but
World's Finest or whatever.
World's Finest. That's what it was. Yeah, World's Finest. Where's that book? I can't find it. It does not matter. We're gonna go from there. So yeah, this is a fresh book. You don't have to know anything about Shazam because it kind of like recaps what Shazam is. So there you go. So it's almost like it's one of those Dawn of DC books where it's kind of like a starting point. It's that. So it kind of like lets you know where Shazam is, not only like who Shazam is, but where he is at this point in his DC universe. For instance, his name is just Shazam in this book. We'll get to that. So all right, so like I said, we're gonna get to it, and we see Shazam. We're gonna call him Shazam right now until they say his real name. We're gonna see Shazam riding a dinosaur. Why? Because that's what Shazam books are. They just do shit like this. He's just riding a dinosaur. He's riding a dinosaur. He's in the where is he? He said where he is. He was in the rainforest of I don't know. It's some rainforest. Anyway, he's about to go off a cliff, and the dinosaur about to go cliff. He's trying to stop it from going off the cliff, but he can't stop because he ain't paying attention, and the dinosaur falls off the cliff. Now, Shazam could easily just catch the dinosaur. However, he explains that if I did that, it would be like the dinosaur would be falling on a nail. I would be going right through him because he's falling at terminal velocity. So what I need to do is like form a net before he falls and catch him. So he forms a net, catches the dinosaur before he falls over there. And he's like, okay, so are you okay? And the dinosaur says, yeah, I'm good. So yeah, the dinosaur can speak because the dinosaur is an alien, a kid alien. Dinosaurs from another planet crashed to this planet, and Shazam was watching over them, but the baby dinosaur ran off and wasn't paying attention. So he's just trying to get the dinosaur back to his parents so he can get in the spaceship and fly away. Before they fly away, they decide to have tea with each other. So yes, it's that type of story. So the thing is, but they don't have enough fuel to get out of there. So Shazam has to help them escape the planet by throwing the spaceship in space and helping them kind of like, jumping off the car. And they wave and the dinosaur's like, cool, And yeah, that's it. So he's hanging out in the Rock of Eternity, kind of like that's so the Rock of Eternity is kind of like his Fortress of Solitude, his Batcave. That's his thing, And he's there, and he always takes souvenirs from adventures there. So he takes his big teacup, and he actually crashed in the door because he didn't have X-ray vision, anything like that. And he just got this whole wall of memorabilia that he just got there, like Batman's thing and, whatever there. And he just puts it there. And he just hangs out there. So he's, quotations, training, playing with toys, bowling, dancing. But he said he's working on his coordination. And he said he's okay because his ears invulnerable, so he can crank these speakers up as loud as he wants to. I'm thinking he's playing the new Conway the Machine. That's just me. So yeah, he's watching old movies for superhero research. Superhero movies. Playing video games. For learning tactics. That's what he's doing. So that's what he does all day. Meanwhile, Freddie Freeman is in the room. But what happened in doing that Lazarus Planet? All his foster brothers and sisters lost their powers. So they're back human again. They can't Shazam out again. And matter of fact, we learned his new name. His new name is the Captain. That's it. He's just a captain. Not Captain Marvel, just Captain. Because he can't call himself Shazam, because if he calls himself Shazam, he'll turn back to what he was before. So his brothers and sisters can't call him by his name either, or they'll turn back also. So they're like, just call me the Captain and keep it simple. So that's it. Captain Marvel, that's it. So he's like, hey, you figured out how to get my powers back? You're like, nah, I haven't figured out yet. Don't worry, we're going to work on it. He's like, well, cool. Well, anyway, I can't get you because we're late for class. You're like, late for class? Oh, shit, so let's go. So, and he basically, and meanwhile, he's being watched by these two evil villains, like, soon we will do blah, 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 the evil shit. And they walk off. That's it. So, and basically, Shazam or the Captain asks the question that we've always asked him. If you could turn into an immortal being with superhuman powers and you're an adult, why the hell would you ever turn back to a kid? And he answers the question. The reason I have to turn back to a kid is because of the wisdom of Solomon. Because whenever I turn into the Captain or Shazam, the wisdom of Solomon is always yapping in my ear. Eat your vegetables, go to bed, go here, go there. Always telling me what to do. It's like a parent in my ear the whole time whenever I'm Shazam. And it gets on my damn nerves. So, but when I turn back into Billy, that voice goes away. I can just be Billy. I can just be myself. Yeah, I'm human, but at least I ain't got his ass in my ear all the time saying shit. So he's human, but he keeps fucking up. He sucks at sports. He sucks at the gym, but he's human. Meanwhile, he goes back to his foster family back in Fawcett City, and he goes to parents. His foster parents knows who he is. They know who Freddy is. They're cool. And they have a tiger that's a housekeeper. That's Tawny the Tiger. He's back in the 40s. It's Shazam. It's weird. Just go with it. So, yeah, he's cooking dinner. That's all you need to know. Meanwhile, Billy has a side hustle because they have so much stuff going on. He is, wait for it, a podcaster. What he does, all his Shazam fights and adventures he goes on, he just says it in a podcast. Now, this is a reference with the back in the Shazam books back in the 40s. In the 40s, he had his own radio show. And his radio show, he would just say Shazam adventures, but now he's a podcaster. He just says this crazy shit. He gets comment and shit, and you get one comment that you probably can't see at the bottom of it. He was like, but can he beat Black Adam, though? But they just keep going from there. Meanwhile, they get comments left and right, and he finds out that an earthquake has hit California. So he Shazams out, jumps out the window, and flies to California, from Philly to California. Goes there. Since he doesn't have X-ray vision and super hearing and stuff like that, he actually has to find people there. But meanwhile, he get first responders there. They all help out, and they're good. So when he helps everybody else, and he got this chick, it's like, Shazam, you saved me. How can I ever thank you? He like, uh-oh. But that's when he starts freaking out. He was like, bitch, get your hands off me. You steady thinking that? I am a god. How dare you touch me? So basically, he's freaking out, and he don't know why he's freaking out. To be continued. And he did it all on TV. So that's the book. So it's kind of like a reboot-ish thing of Captain, not Marvel, just Captain. Kind of where he's at right now. Uh-oh, I bet you we got a...
Yeah, I couldn't figure out how to like get rid of that.
Oh well, that's okay. But yeah, that's what's going on with their book. So like I said, it's just rebooting, kind of let you know where Shazam, like I said, he's no longer Shazam, he's the captain, or whatever you want to call him. So that's the thing. Shoot, anything else you got? Or
No, I'm booked out.
Are you booked out? Okay, well, that's it. I'm not reviewing that X-Men book again. It's done. It was just yeah. But yeah, like I said, you listen this long, definitely like, share, subscribe. I don't know what we're gonna do next week. Maybe we'll do a 3.5 hour Street Fighter story. I don't know. Maybe we'll do something else. We'll see how it go from there. Something else is coming out. I want to watch. What is coming out? I don't know. We'll
Is
see.
Flash coming soon or something?
Yeah,
Is the Flash coming out?
next month. But let's look at it. Hell, is Fast and Furious next week?
Soon?
I think Fast and Furious next
Is it?
week. I
Uh-oh.
think so.
Leroy show again.
I gotta watch that.
Here, take your notes.
I'm gonna take notes. Okay, real cinema, Fast and Furious. Okay. All right. So yeah, appreciate everybody checking out. Like I said, listen, definitely like, share, and subscribe. If you listen to it even for 30 seconds, you show up on the algorithm, you boost us up, you help us out. Share it out, put it out there. DeAndre, appreciate you coming in. You hit me up last week. Hopefully, this will be the last time we see you. Definitely come in. I'm gonna catch some Z's.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
Oh, he
Shout
already
out to
checked out.
Jake.
Yeah. Well, appreciate you checking in. So yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, appreciate Travis, appreciate Jake, everybody checking in. But we'll come back next week with some other stuff and we'll see how it goes. Until then, this is Leroy.
This is Eli.
We'll check you out next week. Same blue time, same blue channel.
Temperatures rising, I don't wanna feel I'm in the wrong place to be real. reasons, had no pride. After all the reasons why, all of the reasons were a lie. Love was left aside. I can't find the reasons that my love won't disappear. Can't find the reasons why I love you, baby, my dear. Can't find the reasons wanna love you all night. Can't find the reasons gotta squeeze you.